We're live. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Iron Palace Podcast, the world's most anabolic podcast that is, for some reason, doing things different today. We had an amazing guest this week, and it was so amazing, in fact, that we missed all the normal introduction stuff. We just started talking and never stopped. So without further ado, we're going to roll right into it. Here you go. Storming into the throne room is a force of raw intensity, unchained power, and untouchable charisma. Standing tall, broad-shouldered, and built like the guy that she told you not to worry about, he is the wrecking ball with a smile, the definition of dominance, the future of fury. Your Brody, Brady Booker!
Brady can be disruptive. He's a little chatty cat, you know? I couldn't help myself, you know? I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. So yeah, now that I'm in the middle of a ring in my underwear, dancing around for people and getting them to get excited, you know, it does help. Yeah, it does help.
Yeah, whenever I was watching, after he told us you were coming on, I'd watch some highlights and stuff. I was like, I can hear him plain as day. Yeah. No matter where the camera's at.
There's a funny thing too, because now I haven't had the opportunity to wrestle in front of it, but you know, when you're in front of 50,000 people, how are they gonna hear your voice? You know, every time I've been in an arena and I yell to the people, they seem to reciprocate. So, I got some pipes on me, dog. Yeah. Shakira's in trouble. Yeah.
Hips don't lie.
Yeah, no, little tight in the hips. You know, we did some hip mobility today. Yeah. Oh, my God. Speaking of hip mobility, I might as well just get it out of the way now. We talked about it. I asked her if I could use it. Let's just say a wonderful friend of mine decided that we were going to go on a hike to see the sunset. How awesome does that sound? Not only did we hike in the sunset, we were going to take the top off the Jeep. Beautiful day. We drive to it's probably a 45, 50-minute drive to the Smoky Mountain National Park. We go to this place called Chimney Top. Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful hike, beautiful day so far. The drive was magnificent. We start going up the trail, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I've hiked my whole life. Hell, I was out in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I went to the University of South Dakota, hiked out in the Rockies, you know. And I've worked hard and been a blue chip athlete kind of my whole life, or held to that standard. So I'm thinking to myself, this should be a cakewalk. I mean, I'm having matches 3-4 a week. We get a quarter of the way through this thing, guys, and I'm talking like all that shit my dad used to talk about, like my low back tightening up, my ankles and calves on fire. I thought if you took a pin to my calf, it would have popped. And then I'm thinking like, oh, so we're like halfway there, right? And we were about 0.2 in by that time. So then I think to myself, okay, this 130-pound girl is eating this, and I'm starting to huff and puff. So I'm going to suck it up, and we're going to keep going. Dude, the amount of stairs I started seeing. I'm a burst athlete. I'm not a distance guy. You know what I mean? So I thought to myself, okay, the burn's really bad. I'm just going to take off running. I started running for a while, and the stairs never ended. So, you know, we found ourselves taking some breaks, catching back up. Anyways, we make it to the top. It's beautiful. I'm huffing, puffing, dripping sweat. And some clouds roll in, and a little bit of sprinkle comes down. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is kind of nice. We sit up there. We watch the sunset. It'll dissipate, right? I'm not from Tennessee. They call it the Smoky Mountains for a reason. I don't think when wood is wet, it smokes when it gets on fire. So I don't know where they got the name, but the clouds did not dissipate. The rain did not dissipate. It went from the hike was so steep that it was almost like straight up, right? So it's hell to go on. Well, when it's pouring rain going straight down and it's dark now, oh my Lord! Like I used to, you know, where I'm from, it's the Illinois Valley Starved Rock State Park, and it was sandstone. So slippy, whatnot, you know, you fall on your butt on that. You're kind of okay. You might leave a butt print. The rocks you guys got out here, you're not leaving no butt prints on when you're going down. That thing's going to impale you. So I'm taking these little choppy steps, doing footwork, slipping, sliding, grabbing her. I mean... It was harder than any football game I played in my life. Talk about hip mobility. I needed every bit of it there. We finally get down to the bottom, hoping that, you know, everything wouldn't be as wet. No, we're the only ones there, and the Jeep's soaked now. So we get in the Jeep, and guys, we had to drive 45 minutes back, and the rain did not dissipate. So I got to tell you, you know, we went through it. It was like hell in that car sitting there. I mean, my hands went numb, my feet went numb. We're both shivering. We're like, do we stop? If we stop, we're just going to get more wet. We can't see. And through all of that, I realized we hadn't stopped laughing at how good of a time that we had, that it was like, who knew you could have so much fun suffering?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and I guarantee you, Brodies, you probably got a million stories of your own, of wonderful women in your life that have led you to some great plans there, that you guys have great fun on. But even when we're lifting, even when we're training, I mean, today, like with my legs being sore, I'm doing hack squats, I'm doing quads and glutes, and I'm leaning forward into that hack squat. I got 3 plates on it. I'm thinking this is all I'm going to do. And I just did not want to be there. It was hell, but that suffering is going to be something that builds us for that next time I got to climb that thing. God damn it, I got to do more cardio. That's why I always like jujitsu, because at least with cardio with jujitsu, that guy's trying to kill me. That'll get me to move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, let's just walk up this 90-degree angle. Jesus. Yeah, no, I'm sorry I had to do that. It was a blast, It was a blast going through hell. Together, though,
Funny thing about that trail, I worked for the park.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I used to work on the trails department. I put in, or helped my crew put in, most of those steps.
Hey, I'll tell you this.
I was like, yeah, I know.
And we were on a time limit. We were cutting it close, so we had
You
about
carried
40
them steps in.
Oh, my God.
I was like, I know what you went through there.
I was almost pissed off going down them, because I'm just like, there's still too many. You know what I mean? I've never felt that bad going downstairs.
Yeah, there's one section of it that they call it the mule's face, and it's literally because it's it's as steep as a horse's or a mule's face. Yeah, we had like some of the equipment, you couldn't carry it past that. You had to take like high lines and drag it because it was too steep.
I can't imagine carrying supplies up that without stairs,
Yeah.
without those rocks. I mean, I'd have been slipping on my face when it's dry.
But
Oh man.
that's one of my favorite trails too. Like get towards the top and we'd be sitting there eating lunch or something, and people would come up to us and they'd be like, "Oh, how much further is it to the top?" I'm like, "Dude, you're halfway there." There
was a point in time where I was burning so bad that she was giving me like little updates, like, "Hey, we're this close, we're this close." At one point in time, I just turned to her, I go, "Don't tell me how close." I'm just gonna David Goggins this MFR, and we're gonna get through it.
Have they got it open all the way to the top now?
They've got a little observation platform thing. They're trying to keep people off of the actual. But
It seems more like a suggestion than
exactly.
the law, because they did build a nice path the other way.
Yeah, that's not keeping anybody off.
Yeah,
of it,
no way. But go at your own expense, because those rocks, when they get slippery, I was looking at that incline to the actual tippy top. Oh, brother, you got to have some equipment. You ain't going up there in just a pair of boots.
I got it in flip-flops.
Yeah. No, next time I'll wear my Crocs, see if I can keep my feet.
Yeah, he ain't saying what kind of feet he's got under the flip-flops.
Yeah, those things look like they could grab plates, brother. You can take those and flip them around. Yeah. See, what big deadlifter, I bet, that he'd be grabbing ground with his feet. I'm still working on that, on those foot grippers. I've been wearing those, what are them things called? They look like the thing that chicks wear at the getting pedicures. The toe spacers?
Yeah.
And dude, they've been doing wonders for me because I got a little bit crooked toes and everything, but man, do they look funky. And then if I wear them too long, my toes start to turn purple, and I'm like, okay, maybe we got them on too long or whatnot.
I don't know if I've ever heard of someone deadlifting with
I want to
toe
see
separators on.
I want to see Alan wear those.
I don't know if they got a big enough pair. They said they do big and tall for toe
I need
spacers.
2 sets.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "What has he got 20 toes?"
No, just 10 big ones.
Oh, you know what they say about big feet?
Big hands.
Big socks.
shoes.
Yeah,
Big,
no, I'm with you.
Big
yeah,
flip-flops.
Yeah, no, we keep it PG.
Yeah. Yeah, we keep it PG. But
Yeah, you got some more of that cooter crush or like, cooter canoe. Ride that baby to the Great Falls. Hold on. I was just playing on words. I was in the moment, I'm an entertainer.
I can see when he was like, "Oh."
The thing about me too is, being loud, being excitable. Sometimes I speak faster than I can think, and I say what pops into my head. And man, we don't always have a filter.
Oh, you're in the right place.
Yeah, I know. It's
You're in the right chair.
that's true.
Yeah.
The guy that we used to have sit there, he used to be the exact same way.
Yeah.
oh, perfect. Maybe I can find myself into a new job. What are you guys doing later?
I mean, we're hiring.
but it does not pay at all.
I have to say, looking around here, I got to work on my beard. Because when I let this guy go a little bit, guys, I mean, I think a cat could lick it off.
Well, Caleb's been working on his for that's 2 years growth right there.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, if I grew that out, I think I'd be all neck. You know what I mean?
See, mine's like it just grows in trashy. Like I can't grow in any of this. So
I think my facial hair reflects, like my eating habits. White trash. I'll eat anything. You know what I mean? So and anything and everything. Yeah, no, kind of white trash when it comes to everything. I'll wear that shirt if it's a little dingy.
Well, yeah.
White trash ain't bad.
We need to look into.
We need a little bit more white trash in this world. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Grimy. Yeah.
We just need to look into eating habits as it pertains to beard growth.
I don't know that I'm smart enough to look into that.
Well, somebody needs to.
Dude, with all the beard oils and all this stuff, like cosmetics for men
I
now
just
that
use
they
grease
make.
off the cheeseburger. I mean, that's all it is right there.
See, if I were here like that, I'd leave with a cheeseburger for later. You know what I mean?
Mayonnaise, ketchup, they just all rubbed in real good.
I mean, that's how like when I wash my hands. That's how I dry them. I'm just
Hey, look around for a napkin. Like,
nah, I got a beard.
I got to grow mine out so I can do that. Then right now it's just it's just there.
Yeah, it's either that or wipe them on your pants. And
Yeah, then everybody sees that.
Yeah.
It's good for the podcast game. Long contemplation. A lot of hand gesture.
See, I do that a lot, but it's really I'm just trying to get it out of my mouth.
Oh. That's the thing with the mustache, dude, is I eat half of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Now I got to learn how to trim it and whatnot.
I know.
Trim a straight line. Are you kidding me?
And my wife's a barber, and then she just broke her right wrist. So now I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh, dude.
Like, who's going to do this?
Yeah, I know we're going to get hairy.
Because I can't do it.
White trash. Yeah.
So every time it gets really like looking bad, I'm like, this is your fault. Like this is your fault.
Is this when we test out the Raleigh fingers?
I've been trying.
Okay.
We're about there. If I get the right beard wax, I think it'll.
Dude, I kid you not, just being in wrestling, you see, I mean, there are all sorts of people, but I have seen some phenomenal facial hair, but there's been some dudes who's got those mustaches. Now, when I say those dudes, there's probably like 2 or 3 that I've seen, but them guys out here with the curly keys, I don't even know how you keep that guy up. Are we hairspray in that thing? That just sounds like you might need like a license to have a mustache.
Yeah.
If we're so heavy on, conceal and carry, maybe you should get something for that. That looks dangerous to me,
Yep. See, like whenever I watch TV shows, facial hair is not always something I pay attention to, but my wife does, and it cracks me up. So we watched Game of Thrones. I've watched it many times.
Yeah.
But she's never watched it. So we're in the first episode, and it shows dude at Winterfell, and he's got his sideburns wrapped down and tied down under his chin. And I never noticed it.
oh yeah, their master at arms or whatever.
I had never noticed it until we're watching it. She goes, "What is that?" And she's like in tears laughing about it. And I was like, I don't know. I never noticed it till now.
Yeah, Game of Thrones, great show.
Absolutely.
Walker's scary.
Yeah. I know. I told her we're not allowed to watch the parts with Jason Momoa in it, though.
I respectfully agree. Even being a pro wrestler where, we're out there and I understand when, it's just the Brody showing up. I get it. It's uncomfortable, A lot's going on out there. Yeah. Think about being in there, dude. And that guy's got on way too much baby oil. And sometimes, because they talk about it being etiquette, like you got to smell nice. Sometimes they might put on too much cologne. It's like, Jesus Christ, you're going to take me to dinner after,
So that's a real etiquette you're supposed to wear something?
So the baby oil thing, that's not etiquette. That's so the guys look shiny and they think they look bigger. I sweat like a whore in church, unfortunately. So it takes me about 5 seconds to get out there, and I'm sweating like a stuck hog. But definitely smell good. You don't want to smell like crap. You got to brush your teeth, put on deodorant, stuff like that.
See, I never would have thought of that because I just think everybody's sweaty. It's going to smell bad no matter what. But I guess that does make sense.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but I saw an interview with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He was talking about he was wrestling overseas with Andre the Giant, and he had made him mad, and Andre didn't wash his singlet for like I don't remember how long.
Oh my God, dude.
And then there was supposed to be, at some point he gets him in a headlock, and but this time he didn't let him out of it. And he took his singlet and took the shoulder strap and wrapped it around and got it like across his mouth.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's to that extent, because Andre, he was the giant. He could do whatever he wants. But there's still ribs here and there that you can get people with. The wrestling game is crazy with some of those, especially back in the day, like some of those dudes, like what they used to do to them. You guys know The Miz?
Yeah.
He dealt with some ribs. I mean, I think someone, I don't know if they threw up in his bag, shit in his bag, and then threw his bag out of the locker room. I mean, it was a dog-eat-dog world, and I can't even imagine what it was like in the 90s. I've become lucky enough to, work with Billy Gunn and hear some of the stories about when I'd say wrestling was at its highest peak. And the way those dudes acted, now that's why I got into the game. They're like rock stars, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different now, you know what I mean, with social media and always being in the spotlight. You can't be as much of a rock star. Think about if they'd have had iPhones then.
Jesus. See, because we were talking about that the other day. Is we're playing D&D, and my character is a midget that thinks he's Hulk Hogan.
Dwarf.
He's a halfling. Either way, he has the.
You just can't look them in the eyes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They have to look me in the eyes.
Yes.
And so I was watching all these interviews of Hulk Hogan just to try to get inspiration for my character. And I was like, man, dude, like watching the interviews between him and Macho Man.
Oh my God.
Wrestling will never peak like that again.
It's what made it electric. And even guys like Dusty Rhodes, all that extra, showmanship, all that extra, pizzazz. I mean, it made it so enticing for other people that it beat out a game like boxing where you had a guy like Muhammad Ali who could spit it like that, but then it just became about the fight, and it became about being smart, and people were looking for a spectacle, and they brought it.
Yep.
Yeah, Vince capitalized on that. I mean, R.I.P. to Hogan. What a great one. He's the reason, like, my pops was a big Hogan fan, so, like, we were doing the Hogan poses, running around the house. I am a real... I mean, we would play that on the computer and play it all the way loud. One of us would, and then everyone would, like, converge. If you were upstairs, downstairs in the living room, and we'd start flexing and singing.
Yep.
Like, for what's right. Fight for your life.
See, I still do that.
What you gonna do, brother? Man, I like to say the mustache is an homage, you know? Yeah. Because if I don't, it just looks immature. I used to have long hair, like down past my chest, but after WWE, we. With the help of Billy, meaning, whatever Billy says, I'll do. He felt that it was time to go a little bit more professional route. Now in a new company, trying to be the top of the company, we got to be a little bit more clean cut. I just got to work on not calling everybody Brody, I was actually pre-law, took the LSAT, was ready to do all that type of stuff. And I just couldn't see myself cutting my hair into a comb over, wearing a suit, you know what I mean? And just arguing all day. Yeah. I got to get my hands on somebody. What's the point of lifting all these weights if you can't just toss a person,
Right. See, we have the same logic, but it usually is tossing stones.
Yeah. See, Brody, and you're a large individual. I think you can toss some stones. But remember, you may not be able to, the numbers don't matter. The longer the lever, the stronger the lever, dog. When it gets in time for action, we get in the octagon with that other guy. He may pick up a 500-pound stone, but we're 6'6"?
Exactly.
You're a house, brother. Yeah. Julius Peppers type stuff, We're talking NFL DN.
Not even close.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, you can have a cheeseburger or two, but, the frame is there, Brody. The frame is there.
Well, he has just got off a cut.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I've been bulking for like 2 years now, boys.
I was on like a
bulking for like 20 years.
Yeah. No, that bulk, it's been getting dirty lately.
We were all riding a perma bulk, and then me and him decided to do a bodybuilding show for God knows why.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. My favorite part of that is whenever people say, "Oh, like how'd you do?" I was like, "I won first place." I'm like, "Oh, you did?" I was like, "There's only two of us."
That's badass.
It was just me and him.
Yeah. Right there it is.
And in the rest,
there's his trophy.
Yep.
See, it's a badass trophy. If you just tell people I got first place.
But he made it.
I made it.
Is this a 3D printer? Yeah. We are so fucking 2025. I mean, dude, like, watching someone 3D print someone is like the first time I've ever seen algebra done. I mean, it's just, it's fascinating.
Yeah. Dude, like, especially the people that don't know 3D printing, it looks insanely complex and cool, but then whenever I actually explain, like, no, all I did was hit print. And it did the thing.
That's like, this is sick, right? But I didn't really get into the 3D printing game until I heard that people were 3D printing cheeseburgers. And then I was like, listen, you're telling me I can just print out a cheeseburger whenever I want one? Is that like that faux meat? You guys know anything about that?
Can your printer do that?
You think I would still be 260 pounds?
I'm just saying.
No, if mine could print cheeseburgers, dude, I'd be.
We wouldn't be here. That's,
We'd all be in there watching it make a cheeseburger. It would be right here.
I wonder what this guy tastes like. Probably carbon, right, or whatever. You know?
You could let me know if you want.
No, I feel too much like Joe Weider touching Arnold like that. All right, Brady. All right. This is the Slam Podcast. what's the lawyer word? Theoretically, is that the one I'm supposed to use? You know?
I don't know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. There we
I was about
go,
to say,
yeah.
I only went to high school, so I don't know any words past that.
Brodie, I don't blame you. You know what I mean? The only way they could get me to go to college is to pay for it and let me play football. You know? And then the NCAA just want to throw a wrench in that. You know, my dream, you know, because I'm very realistic with myself. You know, we worked our butt off. We pushed ourselves as far as we could. We dealt with some injuries, but you know, my dream was to be a wedge splitter in the NFL. Because I grew up watching the wedge splitters.
And then they took the wedge out.
Oh my God! They took the whole GD kickoff, brother.
Well, pretty much, yeah.
I mean, listen, it would be phenomenal to be a starting linebacker in the league, but you know that takes a percent of a percent.
Yeah. What was that dude from the Cowboys? You remember back in the day? That's pretty much all he did was kickoffs. Oh. You remember that one?
No, I don't.
From the Cowboys.
Yeah. Like he had like a 17-year NFL career, and pretty much he was just a kickoff specialist. That's just wedge.
Oh my God, he sounds like my hero.
That's
I
all
might
he
have to
did.
look
I was
him
just
up.
thinking, dude, if I could make millions and only have to
He didn't
kick
make
something,
millions then.
well, it don't matter. I mean,
Well, he still probably was making hundreds
I
of
was about to
thousands.
say, you're still making better than I'm doing now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like I'd do that job for free. You're telling me I can just run down there as fast as I humanly possibly can and try to KO myself and KO them at the same time? Like, there's no technique to it, brother. There is just Katie bar the door, balls to the wall, and separate the wedge. You know? Yeah. And there is nothing like it, man. Golly. I prayed for him to double team me. You know what I mean? More the merrier.
Pause.
Yeah, no, I gotta say, Brodie, it happens in the ring. I like contact. I love it. Hard-hitting contact. You know, now with wrestling, too, we call that skin on skin, meat on meat. You know? Yeah, no. Like I said, the business gets funny sometimes. That's why we got to make sure that we're entertaining and everyone's having a good time. Because if they're not having a good time, kind of weird, too. Brodie's in there all oiled up, just rolling around, you know? Yeah, no, I've seen some wrestling matches where you got two Brodies in there. We'll call it trying to tell a story is what we call. And not many people are reacting. A lot of coughs, you know, people checking their phones, and it can be tough.
Bill Bates. Bill
His
Bates.
son come play at UT.
Yeah, look up Bill Bates. He was a bad dude.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, my hero, talking about, you know, my pops, you know, Hulk Hogan, you know, from the Pro Wrestling Standard, and then for football, I was looking up Dick Buck-Kiss videos.
Oh, yeah.
By the time I was like 10 or 11. Yeah. You know, and I was trying to remake that in 2015 as a 12-year-old. Yeah. You know? How do I separate this guy's clavicle? You know what I mean? I remember, like, when a coach pulled me to the side, he's like, hey, you think about, like, scoring some touchdowns? I'm like, who do I get to hit? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell does that mean? No, I just do this so I don't go to jail out there. You know? For some reason, they let me act a fool in these stripes. Yeah. But it's transitioned over great to wrestling. I don't know if it would have transitioned over to the courtroom. I would have had to learn to, you know, use it all with emotional speaking. I just, you know, sometimes, like I said, bro, I get hands. You know, I got to get my hands on something.
God, that'd be so funny.
It's like that scene in Batman, you know, where he's interrogating Falcone. He's just going to grab him, you know, throw him off a building.
God.
I was also thinking of, you remember the old ESPN commercials, the Terry Tate office linebacker?
Oh, my God, he just laid everybody out. Over the copier and shit. Dude, those ESPN commercials used to be so good. ESPN fell off the map. When I grew up, ESPN was awesome. It was great to watch Scott Van Pelt. I can't think of Brodie's name that passed away now. I feel real bad not being, because it was Scott Van Pelt and Stuart Scott.
Oh,
they would always do it, and they'd have the great commercials and whatnot, and you'd have all the dudes do like cameos in them. Those don't happen anymore.
No.
ESPN got soft. I mean, different, you know? I'm a big Barstool guy now.
Yeah.
Big Barstool. Barstool Sports, you know? We're not drinking, you know? I try to stay clean. I'm not drinking no cooter canoe. All right. I can't. I mean, I'm going to love that word forever. I'll never forget it. I might try to work it into my next match.
I was like, we're going to hear it in the ring one day.
Oh my God, that's the thing. My new move is the cooter canoe. Oh man, we're gonna be in the back talking and everything, and so I'll put you in this, and then I'll take you in this, and then I'll hit you with my cooter canoe. 1, 2, 3. Does that sound good?
Yeah, everything sounded fine. What was that last part?
I'm gonna nail you with my cooter canoe. Drag that thing all over your face. Okay, kid show. And another thing, that doesn't sound very sanitary, huh? It's cold and flu season, you know?
I forget what it actually is, but apparently if you're a nurse or work in the medical field, you do know what that is. I don't know, so.
What, a cooter canoe or germs?
Both.
Man. Hey, you know, I took it.
It's like, I hope they know that second one for sure.
For sure, that one.
Yeah, no, if they, 2020 did happen, you know. I don't know how much truth there was in that, but we're in one hell of a war with germs, Brodies. Yeah. And I was playing college football at the time. They ended up canceling our season. That's what got me into WWE. I ended up Googling it after a poker game. We could get into that, but yeah, no. How do you get into WWE? You know what I mean? I was a kid from the middle of nowhere. All those guys are stars, so I win the poker game, right? They cancel our season. There were like 11 of us that put our names on it, wrote we want to play because, sure, it's taking a chance with our health, but we're young. We're fit for this type of stuff. Sure, our parents may not be able to come, but I don't want to lose any good years of football that I have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if the next year comes, if I have an injury, anyways, about 11 of us voted to play. About 80 of them voted not to play, and they kept theirs anonymous. You know what I mean? So the program was at a little bit of a difference at the time. Yeah. I mean, people were, I guess, scared for their health. You know, I can't blame them for that. You know, I just felt a little bit differently. COVID never got me, by the way. I knew Brodies who had COVID, and I drank out of their bottle just to see if I could even get it. Because they canceled the season. I was like, okay, well then how bad is this COVID? It knew better not to mess with me. You know what I mean? Speaking of WWE, when I got there, I guess, you know, this story can finally come out. They were kind of pushing for us to get the COVID vaccine. I'm not going to say that they were telling us that, hey, you have to get this vaccine or you're getting fired, but they said you would have limited opportunities, and, you know, I would never want to limit my opportunities. So I went and got the first one, and then, you know, another thing I'm notorious for, I guess I forgot to get the second one or whatever, and then they hit me up and they're like, hey, did you ever get your COVID card? So I had the first one written down, I kind of meandered a couple of letters after that, gave it to them. So I think I'm half vaccinated. I'm half vaxxed.
You can buy them on Marketplace.
Oh, see, and that's what I was worried about. Losing my job over a fake COVID card. Like, oh my God. At least I knew the numbers were real, the signature was real.
You lost your WWE contract over a fake
yeah. And then for worse, like, I didn't even get the COVID. You know what I mean? Like, experience it. I know people have had COVID 7 times. Like, come on, dude, stop talking.
They're still getting
it. It's probably fucking just like Powerade flavors. There's 12 different flavors of COVID. You know what I mean? Changes more than the AIDS virus. Okay. I mean, Lord.
But you know, that's like I got the vaccine just because I was planning on traveling internationally, and I thought, well, this is going to be the new norm. I'm going to have it to get into. Well, the first place I went was Denmark, and Denmark just acted like it never existed. Like they never had any kind of vaccine requirements or COVID passports or anything like that. And I was like, well, I wasted that going here. And then like the next place I went was the same deal. It was like all the Scandinavian countries, they just pretended like it never happened.
I feel like countries like Denmark, you know, when there's a world war, when there's big things going on in the world, they just kind of stay out of it. You're like, we're good here in Denmark. Is it an island or is it a branch off? You know what I mean? It's a pretty small area. Yeah, no, they're secluded. We can stay out all that BS. I wish we would do that more, but hey, you know, I'm not political. I'm an entertainer. Right. You know? Yeah.
I got kicked out of a Crystal in New Orleans because I didn't have a mask or a COVID card.
I've never heard a story be more on brand for you.
But you know, but I've also though, like, a story never started better and then ended like I got kicked out of a Crystal's in New Orleans. I mean, that could be an epic story. And it was just because I didn't have a mask on.
Or a COVID card.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no shade, Brody, but looking at you, man, we're probably going to do more detriment on our health on the menu. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, what is this going to do? Like, I'm about to consume 10,000 calories. Like, do you think I care about fucking a little bit of COVID?
It's like I'm getting ready to crush 25 Crystals.
Yeah. Do you know what diabetes are? I'm about to beat that.
I'm about to play the game of how clogged are my arteries.
Yeah. What, you're gonna keep? This is America. You can't keep me from this. I have free will out here.
I will say COVID was crazy. That's the first time that money wouldn't just buy you whatever you wanted. It's like if you didn't have the vaccine or a mask, no one wanted your money, which is wild. Because, I mean, I would have taken people's money.
Yeah.
I would learn how to make crystals.
Dude, I'm still stuck on the fact that Crystal kicks anybody out. You know what I mean? Like, like you were going to drop a $20 bill at least.
That was the only place in New Orleans that asked for a mask or a COVID card.
That's crazy.
Okay, Crystal.
But
like
the bars and other restaurants.
Put your nose down, Crystals.
Crystals kick it out.
What, I gotta have a mask on for a burger and fries? That 16-year-old in back didn't sneeze on? Like, come on, dude. Your cheeseburger's $4.59 on the what do we call it? Not the dollar menu, but we'll call it the great value menu. Jesus.
Yeah. The only reason I got the COVID vaccine is not even a cool story. It's only because where me and him work at the same place is because they said your insurance premiums are going to go up if you don't get it. And I was like, dude, I'm already broke.
Yeah, no, if you're going to take my money, I'll do just about anything.
I guess
it was $200 difference.
Yeah, it was
that's absurd.
It was a big difference.
And
a month.
For not getting political and theoretically speaking, it's just crazy to say that it wasn't pushed onto people when, if you don't get it, just everything in your life is going to get worse. Everything's going to be harder to obtain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to get it, but we're going to make it.
Yeah, we're just going to ruin your life.
Yeah. We're only going to have you pay a lot of money.
Yeah. You probably just get fired from your job or let go. No big deal.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
It's like those non-mandatory team meetings. You ever had that?
And I grew up with my pops. He was a Hall of Fame level coach, you know, as I was growing up. So like it was never dad, it was coach in the house. You know what I mean? So all the extra workouts, all that extra stuff, you know, it was always at the forefront of our mind. It was always, you know, go and crush that type of stuff. And I guess I got to thank him, you know, for having me do that because it made all those little tasks easy. You know, when you're doing it from the time you're able to blow your nose, you know, to the time you're in college, it makes all that extra nuance, you know, the boring stuff, you know what you're waiting for at the end. So I guess I appreciate and thank my pops for the discipline aspect of going to all those meetings. Now I'll tell you, Brody, what the hell do we need to talk about special teams at 4:30 in the morning? Like, what are we doing? We're doing it before the lift, too? I mean, dude, I can't even write my name down before that. And you think I'm going to remember this for practice in 9 hours? But listen, you know, we figured it out, you know? You just got to pay attention when coach goes through the drill. Make sure you hear him the first time. You don't want him to repeat himself. Oh, man. Yeah, no, especially during, like, summer camp. Like, when you played college football, you know, it's probably changed with NILs. I mean, there's dudes who have in their, like, NIL contracts that I need a black SUV picking me up at my place and bringing me to practice. I need this many people getting flown. I can't imagine. I mean, it's all, like, pro contracts. I can't imagine how to discipline a team when you're paying a dude more than all your coaches.
Yeah.
You know, so. But back when I played, they owned you. And they made sure they did. You know, they kept you around because that's how you were responsible.
Yeah. Well, it's like I played D3 ball, and, you know, we got, like, our practice jerseys were donated from Oak Ridge High School.
Were you scrimmaging them on the weekends? You know what I mean?
My freshman year, we scrimmaged Kentucky.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I mean, it was a cool experience.
Yeah. Learning
but,
one,
like,
probably.
Jared Lorenzen was the quarterback then.
Yeah.
Jared Lorenzen, was by far the biggest. Would have been the biggest guy on our team.
I couldn't believe his. Not only was he slinging it, but his big old body.
Dude, he could
skate.
move.
He could skate, brother. My God.
Yeah, they that scrimmage 67-6.
I mean, no, hey, I had a similar game like that.
But we felt good. We scored 6 on them. Yeah. But it was like. It was pretty much like it was.
The cheerleaders come out on the field.
Dude, it was if you brought a helmet, you got to get in, and at that point, nobody was interested anymore except for us. Like, I don't even think their coaches were still there. You know?
Like if you happen to walk by the hefty lefty on the field, you ask him for an autograph on your towel or something. Yeah. Like, hey, will you sign this? You want to get a picture after this? Yeah. Yeah, no, I had a little bit of a similar experience with that. We played Oklahoma. Yeah, no, that's when Jalen Hurts was their quarterback. They had I don't know if his name was Boogie, but he was an outside linebacker that ended up getting drafted within the first 2 rounds. He's been an all-pro already. already. Kenneth Murray, who was a first-round linebacker. So for me, as I talk about all my football here, as you guys can kind of tell, I'm a little bit more of a old school mentality, crack some skulls, let's get physical. The game doesn't really exist like that anymore. I'm a big Brian Bosworth guy, because when you talk about cracking skulls and then also being just an entertainer and a figure and an imposing figure, he was always like the king for me. Now, the league didn't go as well as it should have for him, and, we had our ups and downs in life, but he's a great dude, and I was actually lucky enough to meet him when I was down there for Oklahoma. He saw that one of my buddies, I was walking my dog, his name's Boz, and I named him after him. My buddy tagged the Boz in it, and the Boz ended up messaging me like, that's sweet. We started exchanging some messages. I told him we were going down to Oklahoma. I see him as I'm going through individual. I'm trying not to get too excited. I mean, I'm fangirling out my mind. And listen, I've met The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena. I've met Cody Rhodes, the Brodies, and they're awesome. Billy Gunn, but there is nothing that has tickled me. Yeah, no, there's nothing that's tickled me pink. I was thinking to myself, I draw a blank just because I'm in the middle of a story. The fighter, Don Fry. God, I'm an idiot. When I met Don Fry in Vegas, that tickled me pink too, Brody. I mean, just watching him and Brodie over there in the Japan fight, when they were just standing there, just hitting each other. Nothing gets me more fired up than just watching that. I just feel so American watching it. We don't block punches. We eat them and we throw them, dog. Yeah. Haymakers of the world. But anyways.
Isn't he wearing the Stars and Stripes trunks in that fight?
Oh, yeah, bro.
I was pretty sure he was.
Yeah, no, and after shaking his hand, I don't think I'd take one of those now. It might be a little slower, but it's going to hurt all of just the same. Anyways, I see him out there. I'm fangirling, trying to focus on the game. Anyways, we get ready for the game. It's about ready for kickoff. Before kickoff, I see you guys got some of yourself. I'm a big smelling salt guy. I'm ready. I want to split my skull on the first person I touch. That's kickoff. Yeah. That's kick return. That's special teams. At least that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, it sets the tone for the game.
Yeah, we all interpret things differently. Yeah. I'm just... some may say a little over the top, maybe a little aggressive. It's just my best way to Brodie down, hands on. Anyways, I'm getting focused up. I'm smelling salt. People don't kind of, I got to go somewhere. Don't mess with me. And I'm getting all fired up, and this guy kind of grabs my shoulder pad. So I kind of turn around like, what the hell? And dude, it's the boss. And I'm just like, holy shit, he's in front of me. That's the boss's chin right there, dude. That's his forehead. Oh my God. He looks great. I take my helmet off, and he just starts telling me this speech. I don't know if he got it from somewhere, but it's a little bit of God, a little bit of old Roman centurion warrior, and he fills me up with just the hottest steam engine I've ever had in my life. I ran down there, and I took the chin strap off first-round drafted Kenneth Murray. The only problem with that is that the score was about 46-6 at the time. So, when I finally got to make my big hit and I was all fired up and I finally got to let it go, the game was a little past.
Yeah, you're like...
But I got to slap Jalen Hurts on the ass, because unfortunately we couldn't get the pressure in time. I had a two-time All-American playing in front of me. He ended up sacking him, and congrats to him. He was a great dude. But, yeah, no, that's about as close as I got to Jalen. Yeah. After him winning the Super Bowl, I should have had him sign my towel. I bet on them boys this year. They're doing good for me. Yeah, no, that was one hell of an experience. I mean, just seeing... Did you play at Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the grass.
Oh, I know.
It's like
their facility was so nice.
Like if I'm gonna eat some grass, I'm gonna try that one first. Yeah. Like I'm going down there, I'm touching it, I'm like, dude, this is like my carpet, but it's grass. It's real, it's alive,
This is that high quality grass.
Yeah.
This is none of that crabgrass we got at home.
That's that shit up there over at Baker Lake, where I grew up. We never had that on my street, dog. Yeah, I know.
I remember we'd be getting ready to go do walkthroughs and stuff, and we'd have to do walkthroughs back behind the gym because we couldn't do it on the field because they were still trying to save the grass a little more,
Oh my gosh, dude! In high school, we were the same way. And unfortunately, we played in a bowl. So there was ways for people to drive down and whatnot. We've had people break in and do donuts on our field, man. Yeah, no, but I mean, we basically play in a cow pasture. But I went to St. Bede Academy. It's a Catholic school in Peru, Illinois. But the campus is the largest campus in North America just because they have all this farm ground. You can hunt out there. It goes down to the Illinois River. There's a beach down there. It's pretty cool. But you got the baseball field and the football field out there, and then just a huge one grandstand right there. So on one side, you got the opposing team, and they just got darkness and nothing behind them. It's dead silent. On our side, you got all the people going bananas. You got the side that hates you and the side that loves you. So I always felt like we had a nice home field advantage, but it was a lot of fun playing there. And I'd get to see deer all the time. I grew up deer hunting and fishing and whatnot, and I mean, I love hunting with any gun. I remember when I shot my first deer with a 12 gauge with my pops. I shot his 12 gauge. He handed it to me. We get on the buck and whatnot. I shoot this gun, dude. It comes back, hits me in the nose. I had no idea, by the way. I just felt the jolt. I'm like, did we get him? He's just looking at me. His blood just runs down my face. He's like, are you all right? I might have been 7 or 8 at the time. But, man, we got him. Now, I spined him. We had to shoot him again. And, I kind of missed 2 or 3 times after that. But we don't need to talk. It's all about, telling the good parts of the story. You don't need to know all of it. Yeah, no, I've already looked into bow hunting here. I think the season starts not this weekend, but next.
I was going to say it's soon,
Yeah, Georgia started last weekend.
They just had a velvet hunt, too. Yeah.
I've always thought about, what if I could, happen to find a dead on the side of the road or happen to come across a deer with velvet antlers. We grind them up and eat them? Like, what was Ray Lewis doing with that deer? What is that all about? Like, listen, we get drug tested and whatnot, PEDs, all that type of stuff. I'm team peptide for sure. I've had 7 surgeries, BPC, TB500. They work wonders on you as long as they're administered right and you know what you're doing. But yeah, no, I mean, can you grind up some deer antlers and get a little growth out of that? It's not like you're taking growth. It might be like adding to your natural level.
Right.
I mean, Bucked Up puts it in their pre-workout.
Oh, the deer antlers. Yeah, deer antler stuff, don't they? Yeah. I mean, you can't call it Bucked Up without deer antler in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
True.
false advertising. That's illegal. Shit, you'll catch a case, Brody.
But yeah. I might be checking out some of that BPC 157.
Brody, you tore a pec.
Tore a pec Monday. It's his fault.
Oh, man. What were we doing?
We're benching.
Yeah.
It's trying to. We had a bet going first to 405. And,
I love these bets.
And, dude.
Pure masculinity.
Monday, dude, I'm telling you, it was the best feeling bench workout I've ever had. Like,
hell yeah.
And it was like, I was like, Allen's going down. It's over. I was like, it's over today.
Yep.
Unrack it, start going down. It still feels light. And all of a sudden I hear it. And then,
I just get sick to my stomach because I watched a dude who he just jumped too soon. He went from like 225 to 405 instead of hitting like 315 or something in the middle.
yeah.
I watched his chest snap it, drop, and it turned purple instantly. And like I was 17. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to puke. You're not supposed to look like that. And I know Cody Rhodes, he wrestled like that.
Yeah.
How did he do that? That was crazy.
I think some stories are better untold. And, if you guys ever get Cody on here and feel like asking him, maybe he could tell that one, but I'll never speak for Cody. Not only do I think he's a great guy and a great champion, that guy was a Georgia high school state champion wrestler and could have went to Penn State on a wrestling scholarship. Penn State with the likes of guys like Bo Nickel, he's a murderer on the mat. Nice guy, has great smile, but I'd keep him happy. Yeah. I love how people are so quick to say it's fake and whatnot. It's like, hey, check out some of these guys' resumes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had a guy on. He's one of our friends at work, and he's a huge fan of just all wrestling.
Hell yeah!
And that was his thing. He said, "People call it fake. It's not fake. It's choreographed." I was like,
I'd even go so far to say like everything's real. You know what I mean? Like that's all happening.
You're taking hits. You're taking falls.
Yeah,
and
let me tell you what the ring's made out of because there's so many speculations to what the ring's made out of. I've built plenty of rings now. You got bars going this way, steel bars going this way, crosshatched. Then you put the 2x4s over top of it. We lay a thin foam mat that is tied down real tight, and then you put the canvas over top of it. The only thing is that the boards will flex now. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit of help. And Brody's, I'll tell you, I've taken them top rope bumps, the power bombs, the superplexes. Yeah, no, there's nothing fake about that. And then sometimes as well, like the old guys, especially the old timers that talk about like really working. They used to go out there and they used to call 3 things, man, like the finish, and then I'll see you out there. you know, and the way that they could hide it and talk. And that's one thing about wrestling, you know, from playing ball at a high level to, I mean, playing sports at a high level to, you know, I was pre-law, being cerebral kind of my whole life. This has been one of the most cerebral, taxing things I've ever done, because not only am I thinking about engaging the people in their reaction, I'm thinking about keeping this guy on track where we're at throughout the match, keeping it so that if anything changes or the crowd reacts to where they don't like it, we can flip on a dime and then give them what they want that way. You know, there's just so many things. It's like, you know, when you ask a guy a question about wrestling, he'll go, well, it depends. Because everything depends, you know. Yeah. It all depends on what's going on. There's just so many variables that you got to deal with.
So how much of it is actually planned and how much of it is just you have to go as you're going?
Realistically, it's all about who you kind of work with. You know, if I worked with, you know, QT Marshall, who is coach of mine, boss of mine, phenomenal guy, and we've had a couple matches ourselves. You know, we'll call certain things, but he also knows my stuff. I know his stuff. We know to react and be fluid and comfortable. You know, he wrestled in high school at New Jersey. Like I said, I've wrestled, got into jiu-jitsu as well. Hell, even a little kickboxing. But, you know, we can go out there and just react, and we both know what we're trying to accomplish. So a guy like that, we're not calling everything, just some stuff. At WWE, especially, you know, at NXT where I was at, especially with some of the – it's almost every time, even if you got guys at the tippy top, just because there's a producer for your match. So then that guy's kind of responsible for what goes on out there, and he has to kind of relay it to the bosses. You know, so there's a lot, you know, that match has 6 different people's jobs on the line, basically. So that's basically why we choreograph most of it. And, of course, you know, to remember timing, stuff like that. But, no, there's a lot of times where stuff happens on the fly. But another thing that I thought is wrestling was a lot easier to learn, you know, at the beginning of it when you don't try to remember everything, because then you can just be in the moment. And if you have a vet, like when I was at Chase University, Andre Chase, talking to you, working you through stuff and just telling you what to do. Like me, an athlete, I can take direction. I can take direction and react. Read and react. That was my whole life for shit since I think I started tackle football at what, 8, 9? You know what I mean? Yeah. Read and react. Guard pulls, chase. Guard blocks down, run through that hole and take that fucker's head off. You know what I mean? I got to start talking a little bit more PG, but, man, football just fires me up so good. Man. But the game's gotten so soft. I saw a play, I think it was that Philadelphia game. The Dallas tight end catches the ball into the end zone. That safety just comes over top. He's probably 210 pounds. That tight end's probably 260 pounds. He's got to lay a good hit on him. He hits him with his shoulder pad in the chest and head area, and they throw a flag because he's, I don't know, too violent. Well, we play a game that used to be gladiators, and now we're too violent. We need a little bit more violence. Not, you know, hand to hand. Hand to hand. No guns. You do it the big Brodie way. We settle it. And then listen, there's been so many times in my life we get in a little kerfuffle. I'll buy you a brew after. I'll respect you more after we have our little kerfuffle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not Alexander Hamilton out here just, you know, having a duel. You know, but the boys will fight sometimes. I grew up with an older brother. Sometimes you fight, but you hug after it and then, you know, shake hands. Yeah. Too many people get in their feelings about stuff like that nowadays, you know? And then they take it way too far. It's just because a lot of people have never, or at least I feel, have been in situations like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we're at WWE, man, and we're in the ring and whatnot, and this dude does this thing, right? And the coach says to him, Terry Taylor, he goes, what was that? And he goes, a punch. He goes, have you ever been in a fight? And this kid goes, I was in a couple dust-ups at football practice. And he goes, so no fights, huh? And he goes, no. This kid gets into the line next to me. I go, dude, honestly, like, if you want to go outside after this and, like, just kind of get the first one under your belt, like, I'm cool with that. Like, like, you got to get this thing out of the way. Let's pop that chair. You know what I mean? What are we waiting for? There's something fun about it.
You know, I was thinking about that. I hate it in a movie when somebody is, like, chopping wood or, you know, fighting or whatever, and you be like, that guy's never swung an axe.
Oh, my God.
Or that guy's never hit anybody. Or, you know.
So many football shows are like that. You watch a guy throw a football, it's like, Jesus. I won't watch shows. There was something about a high school All-American. That All-American show came out. I knew a couple of Brodies, like, that I've been involved with, like the American Gladiators TV show, in the running for that. He was an ex-football player. He was in it. He looked great, but he was just a backup role. They should have made him a starter because he played ball. They got that kid in there who they made the star, and I mean, he's throwing it with his elbow in front, no chest. I mean, it's the girliest throw I've ever seen in my life. And ladies, I've seen some of you huck the pigskin. Like, you're way better than this, Brodie. Yeah, no, I won't watch it. I won't watch it. It makes me sick.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. I'm like, how hard would it be to find somebody that's thrown a football before?
Yeah.
Or that's hit somebody before?
Any given Sunday, Jamie Foxx pulled it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk about a huge star who could play ball.
Yeah.
Just put him through a little class or something.
LT in that movie, I was.
And there's something about that like I admired. Yeah. I loved that, you know, especially having like surgeries and all, playing hurt and just being that guy. I never cared about the write-up. I always just wanted the hard hat and my lunch pail, and I wanted to go in there and I wanted people to feel me. I wanted them to know when I tackled them, it was from me. You know, whatever hurt on my body, I'm gonna make it hurt 2 times as much on you. Just because that's the game, people cheered for me. You know what I mean?
Well,
You're telling me this is good? Okay. Help me be a good person in life. You know, it's my what do they call those? The break rooms or whatever. You know, where you destroy rooms.
Oh yeah.
That was just a football field for me.
Right.
And then in sports like baseball and basketball, I tended to find myself in foul trouble. Man, I got a lot of boards though. People weren't bumping down there. Baseball, I would find myself, you know, if I can't make contact with the players, I broke the state record my junior year for getting hit by pitches, Brodie, because I just can't help myself. Give me a little contact. I almost like getting hit by the ball more than hitting it out of the park. You know what I mean? Golly. Oh, it would fire you up to go steal second base, you know?
Drop his bat and step in front of
Yeah.
him.
Oh, Brodie, I kid you not. In the game, I got hit in the elbow, but he called me back because he knew I'd been getting hit by pitches. He thought I leaned into it. I got hit the very next pitch. I'm like, how about now? Huh? You know? I'm a magnet.
I'm immediately thinking of Adam Sandler in Happy Gilmore, just standing in front of it.
Only 364 days until next year's hockey tryouts, you know? And I'll tell you, I've done that. We've gotten on the pitching machines. I took a 75-mile-an-hour fastball to the chest. You know, I had to make sure. When I was living in Florida with WWE, they had a batting cages and golf range. So I was hitting golf balls one day, and I'm having myself a couple, maybe 6, maybe 12, whatever. You know, we're golfing.
Who's counting?
Yeah, you know, calories don't count. And I was looking over at that thing, and I'm like, fuck, man, I love that movie. I love Adam Sandler. I might as well just give it a shot, right? You know, no one's here. There was, like, nobody on a Sunday afternoon. I went over there, and I think I took about 9 pitches. You know, I think I took 3 to the chest. I ended up turning around, taking a couple to the back, and I'm like, after I started to feel them and the beers weren't working anymore, I was like, oh, dude, this is kind of stupid. But it takes you to catch a real solid buzz, catch yourself alone in a batting cage getting hit by a pitching machine, and you're just like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. You know? That's how far it takes me, you know? Sometimes I can't figure it out until it's like, oh, dude, you might be putting a home. You know? I wonder what my boss, Shawn Michaels, would think if he walked over and saw this. Why are you doing this? I don't know. I saw it in a movie. Happy Gilmore's badass. He's the only guy ever in league history to try to stab someone with his skate.
I'd probably immediately say, please don't stab anyone.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I'd have found myself sharing my fair share of time in the penalty box as well. I probably wouldn't have figured it out on skates, or maybe it would have made me an athlete. But hockey was always too expensive. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a lot of gear, a lot of club teams. They ain't got that, you know, just I was from Northern Illinois, small town in Northern Illinois. We didn't have many rinks and stuff like that. You wanted to play that, you had to go to the city. Looking back, man, it would have been sick to be 6'3", 250 pounds on skates, though. I mean, Jesus. Taking someone into the boards there. All in the name of sport, you know. We're just trying to have a good time, you know. The boys tend to get rough. We like to roughhouse. We Brodie down.
Yeah.
I'm all about shaking hands after. I'll help you up after I knock you down. Shit, take my head off. I might have fun. I got hit one time. It was actually my first home game in college. So I went Division II for my freshman year. I was there one semester. I dealt with a lot of injuries in college. I had 27 Division I offers, ended up losing them all with 3 surgeries in 6 months. I was thinking about going JUCO, ended up going to this Division II. It made a great relationship. They ended up paying the full bill. Was never really well off. You know, Pops always told me, I'm going to do my best for you. But when it comes to college, you guys got to kind of take care of it. So I made sure I was going to get a full scholarship. And I played there. It was a blast. Golly. What did we just say? I just went off on a tangent and I forgot where I was going. I do this from time to time, boys.
Your first home game, your first big
Oh,
hit?
yeah. So we're playing at Quincy University. Yeah, Division II in Illinois. First home game. I just made one hell of a hit on a punt. Kid catches the ball, nail him, drop him. They had to smelling salt him. I was all fired up. Well, the ensuing kickoff after halftime, they knew I just teed up one of their boys and some freshman over there thinking he's a big deal. I got caught by a Brodie. I got to keep my head on a swivel. Listen, if you don't throw that flag, I had no shame in it. But they did throw a flag, and Brodie got to look even better after that. Buddy comes and tattoos me in the ear hole when I'm not looking. I get up, I got a snot rocket across my face. I got pebbles all up in my face, and I'm like, shit, dude, let's do that again. That was my favorite part about running down there on special teams is like, I'm running full speed and hoping that he wants to make as much contact as me, and we just get to see who's going to stay standing. You know what I mean? It's like riding one of those motorcycle bikes. The first time I rode one of those, I was out at my Oma and Opa's grandma and grandpa for German. I got a little German background. Mom's from Germany. Anyways, I'm riding around on this little Honda CC, probably like 47 CC or whatever they come, little guy. I skid that thing out, flip, dip. It's like when you're on a tube, You just skip off the turf. Yeah, that's when you know you did it right. Yeah, that was the thing, I think I just might be a sick human being because if my heart isn't pumping through my chest and I don't have a little bit of itch on me when I'm about to do something, I don't really want to do it. That's why when I'm talking about cardio, no, I don't want to get on the stair stepper for 45 minutes. That doesn't sound like a good time. But if this guy's trying to choke me out and then I get to try to choke it, okay, let's do that. That sounds sick. Yeah, you can't just let another man dominate you. Nothing will push you more than another man trying to dominate you. Yeah.
Kids in the restroom room always said if a guy can hold you down on the ground, he can rape you.
Yep, and
That was a thing.
NCAA ACC.
Be scrambling like crazy.
Yeah. NCAA ACC champion Jacob Casper, Julius Creedy, was the captain of the Duke wrestling team. He went on to wrestle at the Olympic trials and everything. I got to build a good relationship with him. He's still at WWE with his brother, who I actually had my tryout with. But anyways, I got to work out with him, and, I got to hang with him, and that's kind of where it let me know, like, I can hang with athletes like this and whatnot. Training-wise, we had a good time. But he came into jiu-jitsu because I want to be with the best and show me stuff like that. No, we talked about if you can get rode, you can get raped, and Jacob is the heaviest person to get off me in my entire life. I've never been like, hey, dude, I'm kind of glad we're friends. Because that's one thing, I've never really had trouble getting people off me until you get a guy like that who's the same size, and he's done this his whole life at a very high level. It's learn from Daniel Cormier. He's actually involved in the tough UFC show that they got with all the guys coming up and whatnot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, so he's one hell of a dude. Another dude, a couple other dudes, I guess, if we're shouting out people with the Jits game. Matt Riddle, he wrestled with WWE. He got me started. He kind of started me into even going and showing me stuff. And Shinsuke Nakamura, he actually fought Brock Lesnar over in Japan at heavyweight. He works for WWE as well. And he was showing me stuff to where, like, you're so athletic and powerful, skip these steps and do it this way, So stuff like that when you're competing in jiu-jitsu and whatnot, learning from pros like that, it was awesome,
I don't know. That made me think. Have you seen the video of Brian Shaw and Dustin Poirier rolling?
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh my! But that just goes to show you, like, hey, mass matters. Bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can know as much as you want. I just love how it was genuinely like a little monkey crawling all over a giant man, and he's just standing up and taking him off, standing up and taking him off.
And like you can tell that Brian's like trying, like, I don't want to hurt him here, so.
It's like he's dealing with his pet monkey. Trying to just go on, like, sorry, son. And stop climbing on daddy.
Yeah, and Poirier's a bad dude.
Oh my God, one of the baddest. Yeah, he's fought. He is a star-studded career, Hall of Famer before it even ends. And I got to know training actually over in Nashville. I trained with Billy Gunn, got to train with Mike O'Hearn over there in Nashville. Gunner Fitness. He trained Rocky and Ivan Drago. You know what I mean? Like he trained the Kardashians. He trained the Lakers. He was the head strength coach for the Lakers when they won their championship year in the bubble year. But I got to meet Evan Singleton. And I'm the T-Rex, brother. Yeah. Oh, man. And he actually was working with WWE back when they were FCW as a guy coming up like in NXT. That guy, first of all, knowing D linemen, knowing ex players, you always talk about the package of hot dogs on a dude's neck. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because he's just loaded traps to rhomboids to his neck. This dude had a jumbo pack from Costco of brats, brother. I mean, I could have fit every card I've ever had in my life in there. You know? And watching him do the keg thrower, just watching him move weight, dude, it almost looks like there's just no amount of weight that'll ever make him struggle.
Yeah.
He tore his bicep and then still won that Strongman Classic or whatever, pulling trucks with a torn bicep. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. He's a human machine.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe the size of him. You know, from sitting next to him, shaking his hand, and just being around him. But a cool dude as well. Yeah, badass dude.
Yeah, we've talked about it several times. He was a super cool dude.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he did tell me I was built like a swimmer.
And that's the thing, you know, guys built like that, you know, they demand a respect. So if you're not bringing that to the table with the body, you know, you're going to hear it. He was calling me small, letting me know.
I had it coming. So there's been a running joke for a while. We had a guy on that said I have a narrow back. So whenever we were at the Arnold last year, I wanted to see, are they being mean? So I asked Hafthor Bjornsson,
Yep.
do I have a narrow back? And he said, no. I was like, dude.
He said
No,
it depends. He
finish
said
it.
it depends.
He said,
Finish it.
if you're compared to a professional strongman, then yes, but compared to the average person, no. I was like, dude, I'm riding high. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, no, that's Hafthor. That's a world
Yeah.
record.
So then
right there.
we go to meet Evan Singleton next, and who's the other Andrade.
Yeah.
And so we go up, and I'm shaking their hand. I was like, listen, I explained to him the situation. I said, now, do I have a narrow back? And Evan said, bro, you're built like a swimmer. I was like,
So
never mind,
you're
dude.
aerodynamic? You know what I mean? In the water, you look like you move, brother. You know what I mean? And people love dolphins.
Dude, he swims like a dolphin.
Man, it's majestic.
I immediately drop into I'm on a cut.
Yeah.
Like, listen, dude, if you saw me like, I don't know.
I haven't had my carbs.
Yeah.
That's usually what I go
Yeah,
to.
dude, it's
Like,
late in the day. I've been
I'm
walking
looking
around.
flat.
but-
It was leg day too.
Yeah.
So then it begs the question, like, would you rather someone tell you have a swimmer's body or a slender back, or you have a small penis? You know what I mean? Because, like, in all seriousness, I'm sitting here kind of thinking, I'm like, small penis ain't sounding so bad. Because it's like everyone sees your back. Not everyone sees how small it is.
I mean, here's the thing. But what if you're rocking both?
Yeah. Then that's when you need to grab your rosary and ask God why. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's like, I've been so good. Like, why'd you do this to me? He only gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. You know? I might think I'm the chosen one then. You know what I mean? I'd be praying for a gimp leg to come next, because it's like, God damn, I might be in heaven before I get there. I might be a prophet.
Yeah, Evan Singleton, great guy.
And another thing about Evan is, you know, I see him on social media. We follow each other, and he's always shooting guns, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. He's got all these weights. They look like normal weights when he has all the weight on the bar and stuff like that. It looks the ratio works out. When he's got just massive
Yeah.
rifles, machine guns, they look like kid toys.
Yep.
A gun you'd see someone fall on their ass shooting. He's shooting it like a pea shooter.
Yep.
They showed him shooting at 50 cal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like watching where he did like he's pulling out the handgun. I'm like, dude, what are you shooting? I don't see it. Like, it's not there.
And-
Like, all I see is your hand like this.
And I'm pretty sure his handgun is closing in on the 357. You know what I mean? Just
Yep.
a high well, I guess we could say low caliber. You know what I mean? Yeah. Use your brain, Brady. High power, low caliber.
But he's probably shooting a Desert Eagle, and it looks like you know.
He's gonna unload the clip on you regardless, just because it's nothing to him. You know what I mean? like he's shooting a squirt gun.
Him just getting his finger in the trigger.
That's the biggest challenge. You know what I mean? They had to take the guard off, so you just throw it in there.
And it's custom.
Yeah. No, double trigger. You know?
Like, oh, so you can put 2 fingers? No, I just want one.
Yeah. I wonder what his grip strength thing is. You know that we used to do it for WWE, and we even did it for football. It would like test some type of your athleticism or full body strength or whatnot. But grip strength is caliber grip strengthers.
Yeah.
I wonder what his would be. You know, is he like a 200?
I feel like
I think
he's
yours-
got to be
I think-
more.
I think yours is more than his.
I do 220. He's got to be more than that.
Jesus, why are we not a professional arm wrestler?
Oh, I do not like arm wrestling.
Why does he not do grip stuff?
Yeah, I mean, don't grab me.
Yeah.
Lord, like, now I'm getting nervous. He was over here. We were calling him slender back and shit. You guys started this, okay? And his arms are so damn long, he'll just stick one of them things in you and it's just like crush your arm. Jeez, 220. Oh my God, are you just flipping 45-pound pancakes? Like, what are we doing?
See, well, you know the video where they're flipping the kettlebells?
Uh-huh.
So we tried that because I was like, this can't be that hard.
Right.
And the highest I think we had was a 75. Or was it 85? Either. I think
I don't remember.
We had 70 something.
Sure.
And like we set it up. I was like, all right, everybody says this is hard. I shouldn't be able to do this. And I was like, why is this like this?
You're one of them freaks, huh? So it almost begs me the question, like, from the ages of about 12 to 17, how often were we masturbating?
I think it's easier to say when I wasn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, and the thing is, this is what people don't understand. Is like, we all know our record, but we're not going to say it. You know? We all know our record. Yeah, no, I'm sick. See, like I said, the filter, it never helps me out. It's always after. It's just like, oh, you probably should have said that. I have a thing where, if I get on a tangent, I might hit you with a little bit of a too much. So it's like, sorry in advance. Like, you can't be mad at me if I kind of step over the line. I said too much.
It's like, I already apologized.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. You didn't hear me?
You just start every conversation with I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's fair game.
Yeah. Like when Buddy comes up to you and asks you how he did in his match, and you start going on a tangent, and then you start talking about an instance you maybe be thinking with your coaching brain, and then you kind of say something. Well, those 10 splashes in the corner suck too. You're like, that took forever, but too much. But you know what I mean? Like,
That made me think of Joe Rogan telling Brendan Schaub that he needed to quit fighting UFC. Did you ever hear that?
I remember a clip where Brendan Schaub was talking about that he could wrestle Cain Velasquez on Joe Rogan's podcast. And Cain Velasquez, I went to Iowa Central Community College, and I actually, after WWE, went back there to learn from their wrestling program where guys like Cain Velasquez, Pat Downey, John Jones, Colby Covington all came from there. And so they're a star-studded. They're probably the best wrestling program in JUCO. Anyways, I did it again, boys.
Yeah.
What were we?
Brendan Schaub.
Brendan Schaub. So yeah, Brendan Schaub. Cain Velasquez, who's in jail right now because he's the man. He's in jail because he's the man. He shouldn't be in jail.
No, he should not.
He should have been given a GD medal. But he said how he could hang with Cain Velasquez in wrestling. And Joe Rogan goes, I think people would be surprised about how I would compete with Cain. And Joe kind of took a second. And he goes, Brendan, I think you'd be surprised. I think you'd be surprised on how fast and how quickly this man would be on top of you and put your life into a living hell. And after seeing, people talk about, like, if this bad thing happens to me, what I'm going to do. Yeah. And when shit comes to getting and it's time to nut up, not many people go through with what they say. That's why I look at a guy like Cain Velasquez and it's just like, that's a real life warrior. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, when stuff like that happens, I don't think I could have reacted in any different way, but I've never been put in that situation. Yeah, no, love him for that. We need more men like that in the world. Yeah. Be a better place.
But yeah, Brendan Schaub had he had knocked out Crow Cop. And then his next fight, he got starched by somebody. But of course, I mean, like, Crow Cop, big name, but it was the end of his career,
And that happens a lot with guys.
Yeah,
in the UFC.
And so, but he's on the podcast, and Brendan was talking about, I don't know, something about UFC, and Rogan was like, I'm just going to tell you, you don't have it.
Yeah.
You don't have it. Quit now, save your body, because you're not, and like, I mean, it got kind of heated there for a little bit, but like, I think Schaub realized that my one highlight is I knocked out an elderly Crow Cop, which it's still, it'd still be a highlight for me.
Yep.
I mean, Crow Cop was a bad man.
All of us sitting here, if he walked in that door right now, we still may have trouble.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why, I've found that in life, from football not working out the way I want it to, from WWE not working out, sometimes you got to take a step back and realize where you were. He was in there with the best of the best, but then that's almost like a tribute to Joe. Like, it takes a real friend to be straight up with you.
Yeah.
And he was genuinely trying to help him. So although those conversations are hard to have and whatnot, and they may cause tension, like I appreciate my best friends, who have had my back and have been real with me and tell you when to cut that shit out. Because I will tell you this, as a maturing man, self-awareness, I think, comes last. Oh, man. There are many times where I wish I had self-awareness to help me out. So if your friends are definitely going to help out with that, like Joe Rogan is to Brendan Schaub, and look at his career now.
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably be a lot healthier talking football than playing it. You know what I mean? Like, that was God sending me a message. It's like, hey, so if we're not going to care about our body while we're going to play, it's going to break. You know, like there's just no amount of rehab and prehab we can do. Yeah. But yeah, no, shout out to Joe making a friend move there, because Brendan might look a little different. He still looks all right. You know what I mean? He's not dealing with no weird looking face, no ears and stuff like that. You know? The fight game takes a toll on you. Just even the little bit that I did at the amateur level, even winning all of those kickboxing fights and whatnot. Dude, getting punched in the face isn't fun. Like I don't care who you are, what you do. I used to headbutt my helmet for fun before games. Like I can take a fork and stick it in my forehead because the nerve endings are dead. And I used to do it to my principal in high school at lunch. But like, that's nothing to getting punched in the face. Yeah. And then don't even get me started on getting kicked. I mean, let alone getting kicked, but getting kicked in the face. Oh my God. If you're not very enthralled in the fight game, or you don't do much training, and you see a guy throw a high kick before you fight him after a bar kerfuffle, get the fuck home. You know what I mean? Like, let's not mess with that. Or just shoot a train double and pray. Yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking when you were talking about Crow Cop walking in here.
Yeah.
Was immediately I'm thinking, any guy that can put his foot over his head with the other foot still on the ground, I'm out.
And then the size of some of those guys that can do it. You know
exactly.
I mean?
Well, the size of his legs at that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already scared.
Oh my gosh.
But
there's a katana here, and that's my first go-to.
Good call.
I'm gonna have an object in my hand. There's no way we're fighting straight up, brother. Hey, a million times out of a million, I could have a 0% chance. If Buddy wants to fight, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? I've never said no. Like, fucking A. It's gonna be a bonding experience, brother. We're just Spartans out here just getting manly. Don't take it, none of that weird stuff. Spartan weird stuff. Leonidas. But yeah, no, I was pre-law, so I still have a brain in me. I got a 28 on my ACT, so I'm gonna hit him with whatever I can get my hands on. So that katana, maybe that guy over there, one of these belts, nice and solid.
Yeah.
Shout out Wes Jackson.
yeah, the weapons count as a really good decor.
Oh, yeah.
But they're primarily in case somebody walks in here.
I mean, you boys are just chomping at the bit. The day someone wants to get sliced up into 18-bit pieces of bitcharoni. Shout out Mr. Deeds, Adam Sandler. Oh, man. I would just love to see the look on someone's face. That'd be hilarious. I mean, you feel like you're walking into Game of Thrones a little bit,
Yeah. So we had a guest, actually, we just talked about him last week, too. But he showed up on a motorcycle with a sword on his back.
Is a claymore.
Like a back scabbard, like sticking up. He comes riding up.
I know. And that was the first time he cut up, and I was like, all right, good, mine's still here.
Where was he on January 6th? He's like Batman. He's the people's champ.
Dude,
he had a set of nunchucks on him, too.
Man. See, those are the guys that don't talk a lot and they stay in the corner. Do not bump him in the bar. Leave him alone. Offer him a drink or at least ask him how he's doing. It's going to save your life one day.
He does fight MMA, too.
Oh, yeah. See?
So, he walked in with a sword on his back. And I was sitting, I think I was over here still getting stuff set up. And he walked in and I went, oh, who did Holland bring in this time? And then he was super, super cool dude.
Caleb was like, that's your friend, right? And I was like, yeah.
So then sword still on his back, pulls nunchucks out of his pocket and is just going on conversation, just
oh, brother.
Like not even hitting himself.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would offer to get him a coffee or something like that. Is there anything I can do for you? Are you comfortable?
Yeah, whatever you need, buddy. Which chair do you want to sit?
My wife's name is this. My kid's name is this. I have a family. There's some stories of dudes like that in WWE. I can't think of his name off rip, but he beat JBL's ass in an airport. I think his first name is Steve. I can't think of his last. And I'm so bad with names. That's where Brodie comes from. When I went to WWE, the guy I was working with, Andre Chase, who was a 17-year veteran, he had 5 different names, and everyone was calling him different names. So I'm just like, Brodie. I know people by their faces. You're Brodie. We'll call it gender neutral and positive. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get called Brodie and take it some type of way, right? You know? Occasionally, like when you get the bud or buddy, you know, I get that. You know, I want to headbutt that guy. But yeah, that's where Brodie comes from. And Steve, damn it, why can't I think of his name? I feel like it starts with an M. Anyways, from guys like that to Kurt Angle and Brock wrestling in the ring and beating each other up, those guys are all over. Now, I think they're harder to come by today, but dude, you just never know who you're dealing with. There was a girl who was like rapping and stuff, and then she pulled out nunchucks and started going crazy. This girl with acrylics is gonna beat my ass? Like, what are we talking about here? Yeah, dude. She's rapping, twerking, and then she pulls out nunchucks and throws a high kick. I'm like, Jesus, where do you find these people? Shout out Nikita Lyons.
That's what jiu-jitsu was terrifying to me, because you don't know. Like, you'll have the smallest dude is the baddest dude.
Dude, and my favorite part is, like, you know, during the day, that guy's just a quiet, pack his lunch, eat a ham sandwich, and do my accounting work, and then just to kind of relax. I'm gonna go to jiu-jitsu, and I'm gonna choke about 6 people out over a 2-hour span just to kind of feel something. Like, those are the guys I want to hang out with. I wish we could remake Fight Club in real life. It reminds me, like, me and my buddy, you know, me and my buddy, shout out Luke Palin, we'd be having a good time. We'd get back to the house, you know, after the bar, no afties or whatever. And you feel like having a 60% fight? Yeah. You know, and I want you to know, 60% turned into 95 every time. And then we wake up in the morning. It's like, dude, you punched me in the face. You kicked me in the chest. Like, where are these bruises from? Did you hit me with the toaster last night? God damn.
We used to do that. We'd take all the furniture. We were stayed in this. It was a 6-man apartment, and downstairs was pretty much just like a big giant living room and open kind of kitchen thing, and all the bedrooms and stuff were upstairs. We'd move all the furniture out of that bottom floor, and we would box every Friday night.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, we had blow up gloves that we would go to town with as kids.
You doing the sock'em boppers from what?
Yeah, dude, and that was my problem. Like, at my crib, you know, we were hands-on. People, you know, we horsed around. People played rough. You know, me and my older brother playing around with my dad and whatnot. I would go to other kids' houses, and then I would act the same, and then I'd find myself getting sent home, and I'd be like, what happened? You know what I mean? They all teamed up on me in the pool, and I just started throwing people, you know, 8-on-1, you know? You can't drown guys when you're in the pool. I thought that was fun. Like, at my house, that's supposed to be fun. Like, oh, he drowned you, now I'm gonna drown him. You know? Yeah, I know. You know, people play in all different ways.
You want to hit some smelling salts?
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, why does this look like a napalm?
Well, so yeah, I was like, don't let the fact that it's in an urn.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got an affiliate code with these guys. This is Zone Smelling Salts, and
Okay.
This is their. Oh, wait, do they have one that's stronger than this? Mm-mm. This is the top one. Okay.
Oh,
But
this reminds me like that hot ones, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Right now you're pulling out the blazing hot sauce.
Yeah, so
Well, if you want to work your way up, we've got all the other ones too.
Yeah, so that's like root beer.
Wintergreen, root beer.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh shit, we got they're like Zen flavors.
Oh yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking root beer smelling salts.
from intensity over there, it goes green, brown, white, and then red.
You can try the root beer.
See, and just looking at him, you know, the scruff, the bruise, he's a lot tougher than me, and he just made that face, dude.
Now, I will say, last week we had a guy use those,
Dude.
cupped it like this.
He made a funnel with his hand, and
You can,
Oh,
you can
Jesus.
hear him smelling outside the way.
Jeez, did he like act like nothing happened?
I mean, his
Pretty
eyes
much.
watered a little, but no reaction.
Yeah, all it did was, yeah.
Yeah, no, that guy. If you ever run into me at a bar, I'll love to buy you a 12-ouncer.
You'd like him. He's as tall as me, but a lot bigger than me.
And he was probably on about 2 grams of caffeine at the time.
Jesus Christ.
He
Our
was
Lord and
talking.
Savior.
He was talking about mixing his pre-workout, and like he had put together his own. Like he bought the ingredients individually for it.
Yep.
You
I
know?
know some people who do that.
And like start off with, I can't remember. It was like 500, 800, 600 milligrams of caffeine that's in the scoop, and then he would mix it in a
monster that has 160.
You know,
so does he just believe like me? I believe that concussions don't exist. They're a fallacy made up by the government to scare us. So like, is that the same thing with him and caffeine? Like there's just no such thing as heart attacks. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I think a doctor actually diagnosed him, said that he needed caffeine.
Yeah, he has some sort of heart rhythm thing where his heartbeat is slower than average.
And he actually needs the caffeine.
That's a good problem to have.
So
he's also a nurse.
So he's on enough caffeine to kill an elephant.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's on enough caffeine to kill an elephant, and he's
Yeah, so up until recently, imagine you're in the hospital, and then a 6'6", 350-pound man walks into your room.
He was up about 450 at one time.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Yeah. Damn, we need to get him in the ring, brother. Sounds like a spectacle.
He's a talker, too. So.
Yeah, just not with me. I want to be on his team. We are Brody. I'm dealing with a little bit of a sinus buildup here, so let's see how this guy does.
I'll fix it for you.
And it is red.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's this guy called? He got a pretty flavor name?
I actually don't remember what it is.
It's crazy. I kind of want to try it. I at least want to taste the root beer one. What's wrong with it? Oh, man. I saw the tear in your eye, and I'm like, this guy's going to eat me up. I need one of those before I go out there and cut in an emotional babyface promo. I need everyone to do that. Let me get a little bit of that, boys.
Well, you can if you use code TIPP at zonesmellingsalts.com.
Plug in Chug, baby. That's professional.
That's good podcasting.
That's professional. Throw up the graphic. Here we go.
We just made it.
Oh, man.
I thought that. Oh, I think
Let me
it's
see the root beer.
I think it's Bloodlust. I think is the name.
Yeah, I think it is.
Blood don't taste very good. A little bit of iron.
Oh, that's not root beer.
There's root beer.
Wintergreen, first chew I ever put in, other than Red Man. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's everybody's first is wintergreen.
Wintergreen.
But-
Yeah, because mint, for all of us, like mint didn't become a common thing until recently with Copenhagen and whatnot.
This one's starting to lose its pizzazz.
Yeah, that one's not as good.
Oh, dude, that's root beer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's root beer. I'm a big root beer guy. A&W, root beer floats, come on. If we could bring back the drive-in with the people on the skates, bringing them out to you, frosted bugs.
There's an A&W in Madisonville.
That's all.
Don't tempt me. And see, like if I'm gonna go,
They don't have the skates though.
Yeah, I can't go with my pretty lady friend over there because she's gonna look at me and she's gonna think like that's grotesque to eat that much. But if we all go together, it kind of looks like a normal thing, you know.
It won't stand out.
Yeah, we'll only just scare everyone else, you know. I mean, first of all, if you have a congestion buildup, I suggest these 110% Brodies. I can smell the apple pie from here. But starting with the heaviest and working down, I mean, I felt like I could put my nose in there.
Right?
Yeah, oh my gosh. It's kind of like oh, you want to feel it, brother. Okay.
And there's one that we don't have. He's got it at his house. It's a black one that is about the same as the white one. It's just not minty.
Yeah.
Okay.
But all of them are great.
And what's crazy is most of these are 6-8 months old.
Yeah, this is the newest one that we have.
Most of these have lost a lot of their pizzazz.
That one's over a year old.
That one's close to 2-year-old.
So, like, I mean,
Those canisters, that's what I was going to say, you know,
they keep really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, if you can't get to a sword quick enough, I mean, one of those would definitely work. You know? Yeah. I'll put a dent in your head with a stone salt.
Get a big huff and then chuck it at him.
I like to think that red one there, that's something that like Ric Flair could smell and not feel it. Like sometimes a guy like that, I see him and just like, oh, that won't faze him. You know? He'll be 40 Jack and Cokes in and just think that like someone farted. You know? Yeah. He won't speak up though because it might have been him. Shout out Rick.
So is there any of the pro wrestlers like the big times that are vastly different off stage?
See, for the people who have become successful in the pro wrestling game, a lot of it, you know, because you think putting on a character, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of the guys who become successful are really just an extension of who they are.
Yeah.
So because it's so hard, a lot of times things go off script or things, you know, are subject to change or it's all reading and reacting so that you're going to react naturally. So most of the guys, you know, like Billy, just as Billy is on TV, from the entertaining to the fun to the badass Billy Gunn to daddy ass to all that type of stuff, he's the same dude, lifting with him in the gym, kicking our ass, making me lift all the weights in the world. And that's one thing. I got Elijah Drago and Billy Gunn. Elijah Drago is another wrestler with me at 1FW. He wrestles at AEW as well with me. And we were like a little lifting group here until I moved up to Tennessee. And I'm the biggest guy in the gym and the smallest guy in my group. Like, what the hell's the point of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every time I go in there, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get fired up. I'm gonna do some good numbers. It's like, oh shit, I'm 90 pounds under Billy's bench. Oh, no big deal. He's only 61. Yeah. No, you're in the prime of your life, kid. Yeah.
Yep. That's how I feel. Like, I'll be the biggest guy at most gyms, but in our circle, I'm usually the weakest one.
Yeah, and it's humbling. I guess I'd rather be humbled by my friends than someone I don't like.
Well, and that's kind of my motto. That's why I hang out with Holland and Alan for more than just this reason, but one reason I purposely hang out with people that are stronger than me.
Yeah.
Because if I'm just the strongest in the gym and everywhere else I go,
I think that's almost everything in life. That if you're like the best in that area, first of all, you better be one of the top percenters. But training, jujitsu, pro wrestling, math. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I want to be surrounded by people who are more intelligent than me. I want to be the worst athlete in the room because those guys are all going to push me to be the best. It's when you start to become the best, you start looking around. It's like, okay, what is really the competition?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your motive to improve if you're already?
That's why I get so frustrated with like statistics and stuff like that, because it's like the average, the national average, this, that, and the other thing, and people are comparing this to like check if they're healthy or smarter. Who the hell wants to be average? And I gotta say, in this country, like I don't know if the average is the world average, Yeah. So it's all about who you compare yourself to, and comparison is the thief of joy. But you all
top 10%.
Yeah, dude.
That's where I want to be.
Yeah, like, and that's how you view success. It's all about who you're up against. I just remember, from being a kid to watching, teams, watching my dad beat teams, and he'd get excited about a good win, but then they'd kick the shit out of someone, and I'd be like, oh, he doesn't get excited about that because the team's just not as good,
Yeah.
You learn to kind of judge. Not good to judge, kids. Eat your green vegetables.
Yeah, take your vitamins, eat your vegetables, and say your prayers.
Brother. Dun, 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 dun. All right.
That was my first weight set as a kid, was the Hulk Hogan weight set.
Yeah, especially with that Netflix thing that came out and they were talking about it and I saw all that stuff. My pops had it was like a Hogan figure that was just stuck like this, and it was like a Mr. Bendy or Bendable.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, I would make parachutes for him. I'd throw him off the roof with me, or I'd climb to the top of our tree and take him with me, put him in my bicycle and shit. Yeah, no, we did everything together. And shit, my dad had that toy from 1970 something.
We had the big plastic ring and had the stretch ones.
Hell yeah.
The Giant,
Hell yeah.
George the Animal Steel.
Yeah, George the Animal Steel, one hell of a character. I wonder what that guy was like behind the scenes. Yeah. How do you get yourself to look like that? Like, my Lord. He got himself liver spots. Like, how do you do that? Well, looks like I got to drink this whole bottle of whiskey. Vince wants me to look gross. I wish that was my gimmick. Oh, I'm the drunk idiot? Oh, I'll crush it, brother.
This part was made for me.
Yeah, are you kidding? Brady, you look like a natural. Who'd have thought?
I don't see how Mick Foley did it, changing his gimmick all the time.
Dude, and just the shape that dude was in and the things that he did, I mean,
crazy.
Talk about like,
I think he was another one that didn't wash his singlets.
Oh my gosh, bro. There was a story that like Triple H talked about, like him holding
his on the Undertaker podcast.
Yeah, talking about holding his dirty clothes, going through like the Mexico, like with your passport and whatnot, and he just smelled like. I can't imagine just like holding your clothes in your arms, like it's like just dirty on. Like you don't have a GD bag. He had like he had a plastic bag, and then I'm thinking to myself like, sure, guys get paid differently, but dude,
then they said to go grab the leftover popcorn, and that's what he did between shows.
Yeah, I mean, but see, having a little bit of white trash ain't bad. I bet Mick Foley, he'd been doing that for so long, he could have lived in a box, man. He would still got the job done.
Yeah.
I almost sometimes think about like when I'm icing or I'm doing all this rehab or all this stretching and stuff, and you start to feel good. It's like, why am I giving myself all this pampering? Can I still do it without? Does a lion stretch before it grabs an antelope? Did the soldiers stretch before they took on the Normandy beach? You know what I mean? Like
they're all in there. All right, controlled stretches. Everybody touch your toes.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So sometimes, sometimes I self-sabotage. I might, that's why I don't eat healthy. I just want to self-sabotage. See if I can still prevail, with all the trans fats.
That's what
That's my diet.
Yeah.
so we've got one set of stones that are our Denny replica stones. Have you heard of the Denny stones?
Are they the circle ones?
They're those are Atlas stones.
Okay,
But there's a set of lifting stones in Scotland called the Denny stones, named after Donald Denny. They've got 2 rings on them, and they're 2 separate stones, and you lift them one in each hand. They collectively weigh 733. I forget what the individual weight is, but
Yeah, no, that's enough.
It's like a 70%, one 70% lighter than the other.
yep.
Somewhere around
And so I've got a replica set, but mine are heavier. Mine are 811 pounds or 815. I have to recheck.
Yeah.
Either way. And so we had them at Smoky Mountain Highland Games this year, and we had a guy walk in. Dude was just
He was your height, 285.
he was just a big
monster.
dude.
Yeah.
And like he walked in, I was like, bro, you've got to try these. Like he's wearing
South Carolina's strongest
Yeah.
man with his name on
I was
the
like,
back.
they're like this,
hell
like
yeah,
these
yeah,
are
he
literally,
came repping.
yeah, like, dude, this should be your thing. And he was like, oh, dude, he's over like stretching. He's like, you got any warm ups? Like, no.
Just pick him up.
It's like, you have any bands?
I was like, homie, if you go lift that actual Denny stones, they're not going to have warm up
No,
stones.
you're going to walk up and they're going to be like, there they are, lift them.
So that's my reasoning for not warming up.
Well, then he
Yeah,
couldn't pull them.
Yeah, he didn't pick them up.
Oh, that
And then
hurts my heart.
even with the straps, he couldn't pull them.
You know what
Yep.
they say about South Carolina? Hey, I called Vandy beating the hell out of South Carolina. Won a lot of money on that one. Diego Paiva, shout out. Yeah. Yeah, no, South Carolina, they just must not have it,
Yeah.
Well, I think he's from here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it can't be.
You know,
Watch, I'm going to bump.
I
He's
don't
going to.
think he's actually from here. He lives here now.
if there's one like conspiracy theory that I've never been on until recently, it's that the college football hates Tennessee.
Sure.
And the reason I say that is how is Alabama ranked higher than us right now?
Dude, I don't understand those rankings or whatever. I was just I was listening to a thing. What are preseason rankings? How do you even know? And
Florida was ranked in the top 25.
They were ranked
Yeah.
15.
Florida State wasn't ranked, and they dog walked Alabama.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, okay, so our one loss came from number 3 Georgia. Alabama's loss came from Florida State.
Yep.
Like unranked, and now they're ahead of us.
Florida State won 2 games last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they beat Alabama, and now we lose to Georgia in overtime, and they're like, oh, Alabama's better.
Yeah.
Alabama will always have that little bit of Nick Saban on them. And it's just, if you saw some of the people that make these decisions, like the AP poll is different from the coaches poll to where just a bunch of pencil pushing nerds talking about something that they never even did. Like, and that's what bothers me.
I bet they build spreadsheets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You know it.
That's what's upsetting. You see guys like that get into the game, and sure, they're very knowledgeable, but it always gains respect, to the guys who have done it before them. But they don't need to do that now because they made enough money doing what they're doing, know?
yeah.
But, that's like Notre Dame. As soon as Notre Dame
Lord.
has, all they have to do is have a good signing class, and all of a sudden, they're in the.
Are they still ranked?
They can't be.
They was.
They were in
was
top
in the
10.
top 25 with 2 losses.
As soon as
really?
soon as Notre Dame wins another game, they'll be back in it.
And
I was about to say, I'm looking right now because I'm curious.
That's the thing. There's just certain places because of the money. They want those guys in there because eyes are going to be watching them. And that's what bothers me the most is say what you want. It's all about competition, this, that, and the other thing. It's all about money.
Yeah.
It's all a business. And football almost got like sour on me at a time because when you go through the Division I level and you start dealing with the pros and whatnot and you start talking about what's going to happen and how things happen, it's all business.
Yep.
There's no love of the game, passion type stuff. No, sure there is, like after you have those conversations but if this guy does A and this guy does B, they're going to be treated different because he's on $10 million and he's barely making the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just shit like that bothers me so much because you can't have a good team if you just got all this division and all people not doing the same things. That's why you look at a program like the Patriots who were so good for so long. They were close-knit. Everyone was making up stuff about them. You never know what was going on, but they all had, from Tom Brady to Kraft to Belichick, they had a tight woven what we want to accomplish here.
Yep.
That's why I think NIL helped and hurt
Yes,
college
of course.
football.
Yes.
Like it helps because talent is now a little more evenly spread.
And I'll say this, most of the guys got their money somehow, but like if you were on paper, like what we were getting, it is tough. You know what I mean? For some guys, especially people who have to take care of their families and come from tougher situations, like there's nights where you're going to bed hungry, and it's just because you can't afford it that night. So the fact that like guys used to get bought meals and stuff like that. I remember Arian Foster, stuff at USC, buying them Taco Bell. But, like, it's the lowest guy on my screen now is making $800K.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me that 18-year-old kid who's making $1 million is going to follow the rules. You think any of us would have? Are you kidding me? They
Absolutely
get
not.
I living in Georgia. We wrestle out in Athens. Shout out 1FW, my Brodies. We wrestle there all the time. They're always talking about the Georgia football players and driving this and anything. Yeah, you gave him $2 million. I'm going to buy a supercar and I'm going to drive it as fast as I can.
Yep.
Self-awareness is the last thing you get. You don't get it until you're at least 25.
That's why in the Air Force, like there's like an unspoken rule that if you make so much money, you're out. It's because at that point you don't listen to nobody.
Yeah.
Why? You'll be a little E3 doing whatever you want.
The quarterback for Michigan, the Underwood kid who got a $10 million contract. Why the hell would he listen to his quarterback coach?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, I make double what you make.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 10 times.
Yep.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's a scary thing. Scared Nick Saban out of it,
Yeah, Nick Saban was like, nah, I'm out. Of course, I don't blame him.
You don't develop anymore. Yeah. You just bounce from program to program.
Yeah, that's the thing that kills me is like you get a guy who he might be third stringing behind two really good.
You had third string, 4 stars, 5 stars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think about those Alabama running back rooms, the wide receiver rooms.
But then he's like, yeah, I'm not getting any PT here. I'm going to go to Colorado or wherever.
Yeah.
And nobody develops anymore. Yeah.
And then when he does come to that smaller school, he's going to get his ass kissed, and he's not going to realize like some of the stuff he's doing right or wrong. It's all about how they want to be treated. When in reality, like that's why you should treat everybody the same way, and then reward them on their good, and then discipline them on their bad. I mean, I think it's a pretty fucking easy thing, like concept to understand, but it's just never that way, because all people are different, and like I said, it's a business, and everybody wants their money, and people are pressed for their money. I've never seen anything happen in this world more with let's get it going than how it happens for money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
NCAA dropped the ball. They should have, from the start, they should have had some kind of control over it.
And
it'd been a whole lot better.
They did what they always do and just give them what they want and then put our hands up. It's like now it's the Wild West. Now I think for college football, as a consumer watching it, now it's a lot more even. Now you may not find out what happens, these guys, but as guys on the team and team culture and stuff like that, and guys being proud to go to be an alma mater, it does not exist anymore.
Well, then as a coach too, you don't really know what you've got from year to year.
Oh yeah, because
nobody's
the transfer portal being wide open like that.
Mm-hmm. Nobody on contract. Yeah.
Well, the transfer portal, I mean, it's like free agency. Yeah. I was listening to Brett Bielema, shout out Illinois. They're having a great year. Brett Bielema, stud coach. He's actually from like our area, our high school conference. But he was talking about how he's prepping to sign this many people, get this many people from the portal, but then also be focused on this many people they need to sign for 2026. You got to be like 3 years in advance on your recruiting, or you get fallen behind. Like, how do you even stay focused on your own team? And that's why now that they're multi-million-dollar corporations now, that they have teams of people just dealing with recruiting and whatnot. Yep. That's kind of what NIL did. It just took all the blinders off, and now you get to see how big of a business it really is. It's crazy. Which is why at the end of the day, like, the biggest problem when you're watching TV, when you're watching ESPN, the news and stuff like that, and the bad things about these athletes come out, like, shit, it's hard to blame some of them. I've seen dudes in those spots make bad decisions, like driving the car, like Henry Ruggs, who ended up killing somebody and because he was just driving drunk and too fast and hit somebody. I mean, he probably felt invincible. He caught those touchdown passes at Alabama. They won a national championship. How do you tell that guy anything? I was watching that Charlie Sheen thing on Netflix, and it talks about how when you're a certain personality, how things can like unravel and whatnot. He was talking about how he was drunk one time on a flight. The flight captain was so enthralled with him being in there saying what's up. He took off the autopilot, let him fly the plane drunk. How do you go back to normal life? Like, I can do whatever the hell I want.
Yep.
Especially for a young man full of testosterone, competing, always wanting to be the best. Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster. That's why we need good, you need good old heads around you. That's one thing I found with the wrestling game, with having Billy around me, QT around me, even the guys in the NXT locker room, the older guys that I got around. All us young dudes are just trying to compete with each other. There's all a little side-eye to it. I want the people who want what's best for me, and then everybody else, like, keep up, So I've always utilized that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah, we're about a minute 40 in, so or hour 40.
Yeah.
are
so,
we really?
Dude, I can talk forever, Brody. I mean,
This
I
has been great.
like we barely even, you know what I mean? We could do it forever.
Yeah, that's why I always have him remind me where we're at on time, because if not, I'll have no idea.
And that's why, like, when I came in here and you guys seem like you like very professional, the only thing I was worried about is I'm like, dude, if they ask me a question and then I like go on a tangent, like I could take us anywhere. You gotta be able to bring us back, brother.
What got me is we look professional.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So
Brody,
my
yeah.
plan is to look professional, but not be professional.
We look professional.
Hey, Brody, I mean, I worked with WWE and them backstage lights and the production we got going on right here is top notch. You know what I'm saying? Camera angles,
Hey.
dog. might as well check my boys out, you know?
All right, so I have a bit of a lengthy quote, but it's a good one, I thought.
Hell yeah.
So it comes from Eugene Sandow's book, Strength and How to Obtain It. I've started to narrate the audiobook version of that, and this part, like, for one, a little bit of backstory is if like, Eugene Sandow lived in the late 18 to early 1900s. And so I recommend anybody, go read his book. I don't care if you listen to my audiobook when it comes out. You need to just read this book in some way, shape, or form, because homie was living in like 2030.
That's awesome.
Like the stuff I've only gotten like 2 chapters in, and he has no chill. Like he's just calling everybody out. Like things that are in mainstream right now, he's preaching back then.
Wow.
So this was a quick excerpt out of it. There'll probably be more quotes that come from this, but a physical exertion, however arduous and long continued, will not make a man strong, or the day laborer and blacksmith would be the strongest of men. Mechanical and desultory exertion will never materially increase a man's strength. He must first learn the great secret, which ought to be no secret at all. He must use his mind. He may not be able to add a cubit to his stature, but by taking thought, a man can most assuredly increase the size of his muscles, strengthen all his organs, and add to his general vitality. Eugene Sandow.
Source for that book, I think.
Fits in my